hopefully I'll be getting to some stories, guys. It is 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles, I do believe, right? Yeah. And it is Tuesday, the 4th of June, AD 2024. And it's nice that it's June and not January because I like it not quite so cold. They're shadow banning Hake, y'all. We will cover, I forgot to cover Caitlin Clark, that black on white crime. I don't have a picture, I don't have a clip for you. Go to the J. Peterson show if you want to check out the clip of the attack on my girl, my little niece. She's not my niece, but that's what I mean by my girl, because I'm not trying to get with Caitlin Clark. Just FYI, don't get nervous. But yeah, that's a black on white crime. Is that silly? I also have a correction. There was very fake news put out by one of my black Hebrew Israelite callers, one of my favorite callers. John in Kentucky said that Trump wore the gay pride flag like a cape and ran around on the stage. And I don't think that's true because I could not find any picture nor footage of it. And had he done that, believe me, or believe it for yourself if you want, I think that there would have been footage of that or a picture of that. But no, he just waved it and gave a nice smile or a cheap grin if you like. And that wasn't so fake in my opinion. He gave that to say that Trump is fake just like the phony politicians. That's a blind person. But shout out to the blind black Hebrew Israelites. Hey, we have flat earthers, Israelites, and all kinds of people who call into the Hake Report and listen. So, and hopefully I'll get to the Kelce and T Swift sitting in a tree mess. But anyway, guys, and your calls and your super chats. So let's get right on with the show!
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. Joelle Friday says, she's taken. She's taken. I'm not interested. Not interested. I'm just saying that she made me a fan of the not of the WNBA, actually. I'm all into women's basketball now. Just from like clips on the JLP show and talking about it. That's the extent of my fanaticism. Talking about this Caitlin Clark gal. She's a true WNBA star, and she's white. What a mess. I am wearing my Oh, the Wall Going Up t-shirt from the J. Peterson store. I got this one back when we were on Teespring, but it's, I believe, available if you go to rebuildingtheman.com/stores and check out either the Spreadshirt or the Printify. Oh yeah, it's on Spreadshirt, and it may also be on Printify. Indeed it is. Oh yes it is. So check that out. Check that out. I'll paste both into the live chat over on YouTube if you happen to be watching live. Okay, nice. So Hake JLPT. Oh, the wall going up. Nice. I would like to get to a call first before I get into these corrections, though. Jaime in Minnesota is on the line. I always leave him on hold forever, so let me get to him right away. Jaime in Minnesota, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing really well. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Hey, that's good. What's up with the black Hebrew Israelites? They can't tell the truth.
Yeah, it's kind of a common thing among people who just talk sort of easy. You know, John in Kentucky is not a shy man, and he just talks very easy, which can be a good thing, but they will say stuff that's inaccurate. And I don't really hold that against him. I don't even really consider it a lie. He made it up. And it's not even him that made it up. He's just misremembering the situation. I think.
Yeah.
I'm giving him a lot of slack, but just it's nice to correct the record sometimes. Sometimes I give out fake news. Hake news is indeed sometimes fake news. I remember one time I said that one of the January 6ers killed a police officer with a fire extinguisher, and that was actually fake news from the New York Times, I think.
That would be gnarly.
But that was not the case. That was fake news.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well,
it's common, though, among the blacks. Anyway, sorry.
Especially if you get to one that believes in this black Hebrew Israelite kind of mess, they're more likely to believe other mess. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting. Yeah.
So.
I mean, that's how I feel about the flat earthers. Like, if somebody comes to me, he's already a flat earther, I'm like, okay, he's like, hey. But sometimes it just, you're believing something that's not true.
But one thing that I thought was really interesting that John from Kentucky had said was about the pink skin. I thought that was a bit of a profound statement that he made.
My skin is not white, it is pink, according to him. And I'm like, no, I'm white.
It's interesting.
Why is it interesting?
Well, sometimes my skin turns red or a little darker brown when I'm in the sun.
Right.
Sometimes it gets red like an Indian, Native American.
Right, because you're part.
In the sun too long.
Are you part American Indian?
No.
Oh yeah, you're just pure
tan.
Spaniard, huh?
Right.
Okay.
But,
so
anyway,
you might be part Moor or something, right? Because don't the Spanish Moor or Arab or something? Because down in further southern Europe, where Spain and Italy are, I guess, they tend to get a little bit more dark hair and a little bit darker complexion sometimes. Or wrong?
No, I'm not sure.
Okay. All right.
Well, a while back ago, I had asked you about communism and capitalism being kind of like a stepping stone to communism. You remember that?
Yeah.
Is that how that goes? How they say that goes?
Oh, yeah. In the this was something that I learned from JLP's regular guest Bill Lockwood, that it's called the something dialectic, or dialectical materialism or something like that, and it shows like these stepping stones, sort of a zigzag of history. It used to be like feudalism, class stuff. And then slavery, and then they have capitalism. That's a bit more just. And then communism is full-blown justice or something in their imaginations. Because capitalism, and I see that they do have a point that is sort of what happens, but it is not just, in my opinion. Capitalism, go ahead with your point.
Yeah, if I could stop you right there.
Yeah.
My point about that is capitalism isn't a political ideology.
Right.
Capitalism is economical, whereas like communism is a political thing. So when I've heard that before, capitalism going to communism, it struck me as strange because of that. And
okay.
I thought more about it, and I would say democracy is the step to Marxism.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Marx says democracy is the first step to socialism, according to Lucky Larry in the chat. Good point.
And democracy is one of the most wretched things. I mean, in reality, we can see it. Every country that's become democratic and has allowed more and more people to vote has gone homosexual, therefore the homeless, and just wasting money.
Yeah.
You know, and that's because the masses are not intelligent. And that's just how it is. Most of the masses aren't going to have the intelligence to think correctly about society. And that doesn't mean that they're dumb or anything. That's not what I mean.
Right.
I just mean, like, there's a certain intelligence that is needed to do the right thing to the masses of people.
Right.
And not everybody should be able to vote.
I agree. Yeah, definitely.
Democracy. If you give every dummy a right to vote, they're going to vote for the wrong person.
True.
And the wrong person is the person who makes the most extravagant claims, like we're going to get you reparations, or we're going to, what else? Whatever else.
Right.
You know? Or we're going to get the white man and make the colored people equal or better, or whatever. What do they call it? Equality.
Right.
We're going to get equality, equal outcomes. We're going to make that happen.
Yeah.
And the masses, especially immigrants and those kind of people, they fall for it.
True. You know,
whereas people who are right-minded, which kind of tend to be white people,
right,
they know that's all BS. It's impossible. It's not practical. There's no way to make that happen.
You know, what I notice is that businessmen, people who run businesses or run their own companies, they become fairly conservative in terms of like the economy and this socialism stuff and this democracy stuff fairly quickly oftentimes. Sometimes they will stay liberal and be all nicey nice and mama spirit, but they start to see through what that the government is not the friend of the people or of what's right. They get in the way, and not in a good way. And same with, like you said, white people, but people who get older. As you get older, you get a little bit wiser. You deal with the world rather than having this mindset of, oh, there's money to burn. Because basically that's what this socialism thing is. There's money to burn. And what created that money to burn, or what allowed for this money to burn, was like the people creating value, if you will. If you'll allow me to use the word creating. A lot of people are Nazis about the word create. But
labor.
People who make themselves and their businesses and the stuff that they do, they help create value or add value to the world rather than taking away from the world. And as you said, white people. I've seen these graphs from these pro-white groups on X, where like this chart in which the average white adds like $250,000 to the world or to the country in his lifetime, which is not that much, but $250,000, okay? And whereas the average black is a cost of $750,000 to society. And I don't know if those numbers are what it was, but basically a drain on society. The typical black or the typical Hispanic also is a bit of a drain on society. They're not really adding. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Labor creates value, says Terry Strange.
Right.
Not labor in vain, though. Not labor in
Right.
vain. And all value isn't to be repaid with money. A lot of this socialism stuff is worship of money. They say capitalism is, but it's not necessarily. Because like you said, it's not a political thing. It's just an economic situation. It's like an economic reality, you know. You do something that people see value in it, real or imagined, and they'll pay for it, or they'll trade you something for it.
And back in the beginning of America, everybody couldn't vote. And I want to say it wasn't democratic.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't a democratic. It was a different kind of politics. But the Marxism, and this happened in Russia, which in the early 1900s to the mid 1900s, when the Soviets were at their maximum strength, they were very Marxist.
Okay.
And how they got into power, they destroyed the feudal country of Russia. They got rid of the king and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
By lying to the people, the labor force. They lied to them and said that they were going to get them more money or get them better privileges or get them the profits that they deserved.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff. And what ended up happening is they gave them the political power, the people, the dumb people, gave them this political power, and they became violent, and then they ousted the people that were in charge.
Yeah.
And those Marxists, communists, they put themselves in charge. And instead of giving the people anything, they killed a lot of people.
Indeed.
Like
Interesting.
80 million or maybe more.
Yeah, because there's
Huge.
this false love is actually hate.
Huge, through starvation and labor camps and all this kind of stuff. So the Marxist communism idea is a very bad one, and it's been tried before in Russia. And luckily, they got guys like Putin, the great Putin, to get them out of that.
Uh-huh.
And now they're thriving.
Interesting, man.
And
are they truly thriving though, or are they still like leftover kind of communist?
Well, it takes a while to get back. I mean, they got pummeled.
Yeah.
During that Marxist regime, Leninism, and all those kind of things.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're even alive.
Interesting.
As a country.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're a big country, and you know what? America was greatly brought down to her knees by Obama, for example. He brought extreme socialist measures into the country, and so did other presidents dating back to probably Woodrow Wilson and FDR, I'm told. But in spite of those things, people are still enterprising, and people deal with restrictions, even if they're unjust, and people overcome. People find a way to make value and make their lives work. Some people do, and so a lot of the economy will do well in spite of the opposition from the evil government.
Right. And, the things that they're doing to Trump, they can do the things to the man, but the ideology inside him, a lot of us have that same idea and thinking, where we'll call out people who are making bogus claims.
Yeah.
That fake news was huge, and we all knew it, and we all believed it.
Right.
We still do. But they can try to pummel him, but there's a ton of other people that have that line of thinking. And when people like
that you can't
Joe
keep me down
and,
type of thinking? Is that what you mean?
What's that?
What type of thinking does Trump have that a lot of other people have?
Well, that they call out bogus news,
okay.
bogus speech.
Right.
Like with Joe, he talked about Obama not being for homosexual rights and such.
Yeah.
Well, I just did a cursory Google search after he had said that.
Okay.
And it turns out sometime in 1999 when he was a senator for, it might have been 1990-something, but when he was a senator of Illinois, I believe, he had filled out a questionnaire that asked about what his beliefs were on the homosexual question, and he was for giving them rights and domestic rights.
Wow. That
but
was
it
at
says right there.
See?
So why is he lying? He lies because that's what he is.
Who, Joe? Communist Joe? Yeah. The snake?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like what I said about the Black Hebrew Israelite caller, Kentucky John, whom I really like. He just made up something about Trump running around on the stage with the gay flag like a cape, and that never actually happened.
No.
But he misremembered it, and he just talks loosely, doesn't care if it's true or not, really. And that's how Joe from Phoenix is. He'll say something that's similar to the facts, but it's not actually the facts. And he'll say stuff that directly contradict the facts. And he'll just remain ignorant, and he'll just cite his pet facts and say, those are the facts, James. Those are the facts. Like a communist does. Like, because communists were, the rules for radicals is just keep on lying.
Well, it was more like a Marxist. A Marxist is like a concentrated version of a communist.
Oh, okay. And Marx himself, I'm told, was a lazy bones. He was trifling. Did I hear that on American Anchor, baby? Where did I hear that? Anyway. Yeah.
But I don't know if you remember Hurricane Katrina. You remember that?
I do. Yep.
Over Louisiana?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I had heard stories from people, and they had told me that not hours after, the wind stopped and everything, the people started looting.
Oh, yeah.
And it had been mostly blacks looting.
Yeah.
And it was stores and residential houses. And so people would get together, band together, and make signs, like, you loot, we shoot, and that they were defending their stuff.
Wow.
It was mostly whites that got together and tried to protect their things and, protect each other from looters.
Yeah.
But I had heard a lot about that, and that's kind of the way that I see, like, that was a natural disaster.
Yeah.
And if there's like a man-made disaster, kind of like what happened in Russia that ever happens here, where they had the gulags and the labor camps.
Yeah.
It'll be the same way, Certain right-minded people will band together and protect themselves.
Right.
Against other people. And it was mostly people who expected handouts,
True.
Who were on government assistance, and once the government wasn't there anymore because the government abandoned them.
Right.
Nobody was giving them anything.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting, man.
Yeah, food for that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you have a good one, Hake.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Jaime, in Minnesota. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. That's cool. So before I get to back to callers, I will try to plow through this story quickly. Over on, I do have some pictures from this correction on the Trump gay flag that Nugget Man in the chat always likes to bring up and hold against Trump. It happened one time, and it was just as I sort of recalled or pictured. It was a supporter flying this LGBTs for Trump radical homosexual rainbow flag thing. And everybody doesn't take it the way that we take it. We take umbrage at this flag because this flag is a radical homosexual flag, right? Pushing the gay agenda down the throats of the people. But some people are like, oh, they're just team gay and they don't know any better. And this person is a LGBTs for Trump from 2016. One time at a Colorado rally, Greeley, Colorado, and he did not, unlike what my caller, the Black Hebrew Israelite caller, John from Kentucky, said, put it on like a cape and run around the stage with it. Like he was Superman, but with a rainbow flag cape with stuff on it. Do you see the pictures in the folder? Okay. This is from Quartz magazine. Oh, see, here's PJW, Paul Joseph Watson, saying Trump waves, this is from October 2016, just before the election. Trump waves LGBT flags and says Caitlyn, meaning Bruce Jenner, okay, can use his bathrooms. I remember that. I disagreed with him on that, but he's just, hey, it's his business. He can let Bruce in the wrong bathroom if he wants to. Because remember back in the 2016, they were talking about transgenders going to the wrong bathrooms. Hillary takes money from countries that execute the gays. Yet Trump is the bigot. Bigot is a liberal word for something dumb. I don't know. Something not real. Bigot used to mean can't handle other people disagreeing. And that's the liberals. They can't handle you disagreeing. They have to shut you down. To the point they're trying to prosecute Trump for different things and other people, January 6ers and things, and Charlottesville whites. So here, this is a picture of him, if you're watching the video feed, standing on a stage in front of some flags, and the story goes that he pointed out a guy in the crowd who was waving this flag and beckoned him to give him that flag, and he waved and he showed it in front of everybody. Hey, see, the gays like me. Because he's a New York liberal. He's always been okay with everybody. He loves everybody. And that is not okay with the haters. Haters on many sides take umbrage that Trump loves everybody. He wasn't supporting the gay radical homosexual agenda to push on the children, because he took the transgenders and all that, he took a lot of that mess out of the schools. And he wasn't supporting the LGBTs, at least not the T's in the military. He took at least he tweeted, I'm directing my people to take the transgenders out of the military. I don't know if the military did it, because the military was against Trump. They're filled with liberals. So I don't know if they followed his instructions. A lot of people worked to undermine him. Hard to find good help these days, you know? Indeed. So what else happened with this thing? This is from Quartz from back in 2016 by Gwyn Guilford. October 31st. Donald Trump unfurled a rainbow flag with LGBT written on it at a rally. No, it says LGBTs for Trump with an S. And some of the cringy conservatives were like, Trump made history last night. Mainstream media. This is Chris R. Barron, a Trump supporter, conservative guy supposedly. MSM, mainstream media, wants to pretend it didn't happen. He's the most pro-LGBT presidential candidate ever nominated by either party. He went into it supporting being fine with the gays and the same-sex marriage and stuff. Although he knew that his Supreme Court justice would very likely get rid of so-called same-sex marriage, you know, because he was going to appoint some Supreme Court justices who would overturn it. And good for them. They should, but they haven't. We'll see what happens. I doubt it. But the hearts of the people have to change. And see, he's just being nice. That's just him being nice. You could call that fake. I don't see that as fake. He's not saying in your face Christians. He's just being nice. Trump is just nice, which might not be a good thing. I might not agree with it. But even Pence, when Pence was running for president back in 2019, and when Pence was vice president, and Pence would hang them all, according to Trump. Remember that? I disavow. I don't think Pence would really want to hang them all. But Trump said, oh, if Pence had his way, he would hang them all. There was this NBC News article that said, inclusive or hypocritical? Mixed reviews for the Trump campaign's LGBTQ merchandise. I disavow this. I don't know if Trump and Pence greenlit this, but some have criticized products that they were selling on their Trump website. Others say it's a sign that Trump doesn't use the LGBTQ so-called community as a wedge issue, which is true. He didn't use it to divide and to force down the Christians' throats and stuff like that. Because this is what David Mack says on X, Twitter. It was Twitter at the time, 2019. Trump, who banned trans troops, is against LGBT employment protections. Yeah, that's right. You can't force people to employ LGBTs. Let them do what they want with their business. There's plenty who are going to hire the LGBTs. Wants people to be able to turn away LGBT customers. Yes, for any and every reason, but especially for forcing the Christians to bake gay cakes and build gay bouquets and stuff like that. And is denying citizenship to kids of U.S. gay couples born out of wedlock. Whoa, I don't follow that. I hadn't heard that one. So those are all great things that Trump did. regarding the gays, that is not in pushing the gay agenda. Nice, huh? But he's selling LGBTQ for Trump shirts for Pride, for quote-unquote Pride, May 23rd, 2019. Oh, okay, so toward the end of May, he was selling T-shirts. Trump, what does that say? LGBTQ for Trump. Ugh. That was on the Trump-Pence website. I guess take the sinner's money. Ugh, I disavow that. But there you go. He's and nobody's happy about it, which is funny. The haters aren't happy anyway. Nice shirt, says Hassan. Yeah, that would be nice if it didn't symbolize it. It's objectively, it's just I like the crayon or whatever effect, or the watercolor effect. Nicely designed. Aside from the fact that it symbolizes something evil, calling wrong okay, calling wrong right, and a false identity, because you shouldn't be proud of something that you shouldn't be proud of, and something that you're not actually. False pride and a false identity. And it's $24. Well, this is back when, before inflation went through the roof. Yeah, but Hassan says it's a nice shirt. But he disavows the gay agenda, obviously. If I can speak for him. Anyway, price slashed from $30. So isn't it interesting that they mean adoption out of wedlock? What the? I know, nation state. What do they mean? Hake, why do you want us to care? I don't want you to care. It's just something that's remarkable to me because, for what, here he is handing it back, the flag back to the, I don't know if that's secrets. Did he have Secret Service at that time? Maybe he did. Probably did. Before he was elected. The point is, Nugget Man is always bringing it up. Nugget Man is is always saying, hey, he flew that flag. Well, you didn't fly it subversively. Wear that shirt tomorrow, Hake. I don't have it. I appreciate having Hassan's input, to be honest, says Terry in the chat. One, he was not subversive about it. He wasn't. He wasn't pushing the gay agenda. He was just nice to everybody. He just loves everybody. It doesn't mean anything to him. It means something to them, and it means something to us. It means evil to us, right? Pushing evil to us. Yeah, gross. Sir Buggy Guy Burger. I'm calling him Guy Burger. Trump went full. I can't say the Q word. Earquay. Which that sounds even worse. It was LGBT for Trump, not Trump for LGBT. And also, Trump did tweet after the Pulse nightclub shooting. I think I have a tweet in there. 6A, I don't know, I forget what it was. Trump said, what did he say? After the Pulse nightclub shooting. You know, thank you to the LGBT community. I will fight for you while Hillary brings in more people that will threaten your freedoms and beliefs. This was after the Orlando terror attack by Omar Mateen, son of a Hillary supporter. Omar Mateen's father showed up at a Hillary Clinton rally. That was kind of funny. Omar Mateen shot up a nightclub, a gay nightclub, it just so happened to be, and killed a bunch of gays. In June 12th, I guess, 2016. And he was protesting, I guess, something that was happening in Syria or something, I think. Can't totally remember. But it was in favor of ISIS. It wasn't necessarily just to attack the gays. And some people speculated about him being into that mess. Who knows? It's kind of impertinent. People with dark hearts and dark intentions do. But vindictive. And I disavow the term LGBT community, but he's a boomer. He's a politician. At least he didn't switch opinions to appeal for votes like Obama, says Raymond 11. Yeah, Raymond 11, Obama pretended like he was for so-called traditional marriage because that's where the public was. And then they sufficiently indoctrinated the public and brainwashed the public to change everybody's mind. And, oh, I evolved. A liar. Obama the liar. Anyway, that's that for Trump. Somebody said something in response. Wants to overturn same-sex marriage. Nothing else is needed to know where he stands. Martina responded to him on that under that tweet. Back in June of 2016. He wants to overturn same-sex marriage. I don't know if he said he wants to overturn it, but he said that that's what would happen with his Supreme Court, because everybody knew that it's not a real thing. It's not the so-called Supreme Court's purview or the government's purview to get involved with marriage unless it's a Defense of Marriage Act. They changed the Constitution. George W. Bush changed the Constitution, I think. Was it a constitutional amendment? The Defense of Marriage Act? DOMA. DOMA. Defense of Marriage Act. Defense of Marriage Act. A federal law passed, by Clinton, by Bill Clinton. And it banned federal recognition of so-called same-sex marriage, limiting the definition of marriage to the union of one man and one woman. So Clinton he also pushed the gay agenda. He's like, I remember being a kid watching his speech with his chin in the air, evil liar Bill Clinton. Almost as big of a liar as Obama. He's like, straight or gay? I remember him using that phrase. Clinton criticized DOMA as divisive and unnecessary. He nonetheless signed it into law in 1996. See, he was a chameleon. He did whatever was popular. Divisive and unnecessary. Well, DOMA, Defense of Marriage Act, was like one of the last gasps. There are many last gasps of Christianity, and it's evil. Trying to hold on to something that's already gone because the hearts of the people have turned wicked and easily brainwashed. The minds are dark and susceptible to swallowing lies, such as you hear every day when Joe from Phoenix calls in calling Obama a great president. Those are the facts, Hake. What a mess. And Obama did not enforce DOMA. And I happen to remember that Obama did not enforce the law. His job, enforced the law. But the Obama, Eric Holder, Loretta Lynch administration did not enforce the Defense of Marriage Act. They refused to enforce it. Selective enforcement, communists. There are evil laws that you shouldn't enforce. That was not one of them, I don't think. Nice. So that's the story on Trump. Court says Christianity was perverted soon after the Romans sacked Jerusalem. Yeah, evil's been with us. Evil has been with us. Even in the very beginning, even in the good old days, there was a seed of it, and it was like sprouting and coming up in all kinds of different places. And it's in like full bloom right now. Evil is in full bloom. Unashamed. Out of evil, out of the closet. Ugh. Okay. Oh, yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to use that stuff. Somebody said, swallowing lies. Don't use that phrase. Something like that. Anyway, the lines are full, guys. Let me get to. I got to get to Reagan in Tennessee. How you doing, Reagan? Is it REAGAN?
Yeah.
Like our second greatest president in our lifetimes?
That's right.
Right on, man. What's up?
I love the way you say Tennessee.
Nice. Thanks.
Yeah. My wife, she heard you say it like that. and she'd never heard anybody say it so twangy.
And-
I swear a tear ran out of her eye. It was
wow, nice.
very twangy.
Cool.
All right, so I called, and I don't know much about the subject. I called about Ozempic.
Ozempic.
I think it's, yeah, I don't know a lot about it.
It's a weight loss drug.
I do know that much,
Yeah.
and I know that some big names are getting caught abusing it.
Oh, abusing it, huh?
Yeah, like they pay a lot of money so they can get real thin instead of, I think it's for diabetes.
Okay.
So typically, like type 2, so typically you'd be kind of heavy set. They
Okay.
get prescribed it. And they can get prescribed it. I don't know how to, but I just wanted your thoughts on it. I think it's real vain.
Vain?
Very vain. Yeah, vain.
Okay, well, if it's for like a health prescription, I recommend, and it's a doctor whom you trust. I'm saying the general you, obviously, a person who's taking this stuff, that it's that it. I suppose. I mean, sometimes drugs are helpful for whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I do, of course. You know, I prefer the natural way, but
Same.
sometimes you know, I've gone through surgery. Surgery is not exactly natural, I don't think. And I went. They did all these painkillers and like put me under, and that's not exactly natural. Those are drugs. And I'm kind of glad I don't live in the times where I would have had to suffer all the like a man.
Yeah.
So I can sympathize. You know, they say the medical industry or medicine is a ministry of mercy. I've heard it phrased, I feel like, when I was in college, Christian college. And
That's an interesting take.
it's true. Sometimes the mercy is not the right thing or deserved, you know? Allowing people to live longer, as I've heard the phrase said. Anchor Baby said it the other day. But I've heard people whom I respect promote this drug. There's such as former guests of the Jesse Lee Peterson show who are like health men, health and fitness men, you know? One in particular I'm thinking of who said, you know what? You've tried everything. Do it. Stop being fat, because being fat is bad for you. That's not the only thing that's bad for you. Being sedentary is really bad for you. It's probably may even be worse, not sure. Because if you're fat but you're active, at least your innards are getting cleaned and exercised and stuff, you know?
So you think there's some leeway for
I think there is
fat?
leeway for there's leeway. I mean, people are fat and then they're getting fit. And people just I don't know. But I don't have a strong opinion against Ozempic. To me, it does seem like a trendy thing and an easy way out sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And the easy way out and trendy thing, watch out. Especially because it sounds like it's sort of new. Evil is Still Real says Ozempic is not for diabetes only. It's prescribed for any weight loss. Very dangerous, according to him, though, and is marketed that you will be on it for life. Jenny Craig abandoned their model and invested in it. Oh, I've heard of Weight Watchers. You know, who's the black lady? Oprah. She admitted that that she was promoting like diet culture, diet fads, and now people are going more towards the drugs. And
That's wild.
I really think eat right, exercise, drink your water, get outside, and don't be so vain. A lot of times women get really identifying with their bodies, and men will too nowadays, because men are turning into women inwardly in terms of being vain like that. Yeah, vanity. You're right about that vanity point.
So are you saying they're marketing it as a lifestyle decision, a choice, a habit to continue?
According to what Evil is
crazy.
Still Real is saying, and I kind of trust his statements, although I don't know for sure, but that's what he says.
I hear him. You read him a lot. A lot of what he says makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Look into it for yourself. You know, if any caller or listener is on it, don't be going cold turkey and and like messing yourself up. Consult with somebody who knows this stuff, and also pay attention to your body and stuff like that, because you don't want to. I don't know what could happen if you start or you stop or you do whatever.
And I saw the picture of Trump holding a flag. I had never seen that before.
Yeah, Nugget. I had forgotten all about it, but Nugget Man has brought it up, and I remember seeing it, and I wasn't really concerned because I knew that Trump liked the gays. I knew back in 2016 he was nice to the gays. He's very nice to the women. By nice to them, I mean he's like he's favorable to everybody, and he doesn't discriminate, even where he maybe should discriminate, in my opinion. But also, he just doesn't have a mindset about life and people, which I can appreciate. It's kind of like Joel Friday. Joel Friday is like innocent. I laugh when I say that, but he's kind to people. Joel Friday of Joel Friday TV, he's a dancer. But he's also just a normal person. He's not into politics. And Trump,
I noticed that.
He's not into politics. Trump is into making the country right and spreading like love and unity and love for the country and common sense, you know? He's not into this mess. So when he shows this, we who are more like self-righteous or judgmental or militant and Nazi-like in our Christianity, want to pounce on him or something like that, when that's not how he means it at all. We're judging the heart by the outer appearances, and it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, he's not doing like Pelosi and the others when they kneeled down and they had their scarves on and it was all African. And he's not wearing it on his shoulder like a badge of honor.
Right.
Yeah, I get you.
Joel Innocent, what planet is Hake on? There is an innocence to Joel Friday that you guys, and I know what you mean. He's not innocent, okay? But there is and it's not just naivety. It's he's not polluted by this. Let's say he's not political, okay? Because he's not political. Anyway, that wasn't the point of your call. That was just reacting to somebody in the chat.
Right.
People who get political are tainted sometimes. Yeah. The temptation is to turn nasty and judgmental and act like you know when you don't actually know. He knows that he doesn't know, and that is a good thing. Anyway.
Anyway, that was my call. But the last time I called you, which was many years ago.
Cool.
And I don't do this often, but I would like to do it more. Today I happen to have time on my hands. I'm in construction.
Oh, right.
I'm waiting on some other tradesmen to do their deal so I can get in there and do my deal.
Yeah.
But anyway, I enjoy your time. Thank you.
Appreciate you calling, man. I'm glad you called back. I don't even remember what you talked about last time.
Last time, if you're interested, it was about a grandmother-in-law, and she was raising hell.
Oh.
And we got that squared away. No problem.
Well, I really enjoyed your call on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, I believe, today. So.
Oh yeah.
Cool, man. Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh,
something
cool.
that one can relate to, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear. That's good to know that there's sensible minds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Most people I work with, I can't relate to. I work around Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh,
right?
okay.
And they call it a conservative city, but it's not.
Right. Yeah. I've been there.
Wackos, so.
I've been there, but I've been more to the rural areas.
Like where?
I can't even remember. I couldn't even tell you, but I went one of my first times going fishing was on a pond outside of Memphis. We flew into Memphis and then drove into the rural area. Friends of the family, and the old man took us fishing at a pond that I guess he stocked, right? Because there's no river leading into it. But
yeah, typically around here, there's a lot of those. They'll do man-made bodies of water, and they'll build a shelf of dirt around the perimeter, and they'll have feeders sometimes.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I got to drive the driving lawnmower thing as a little kid.
Oh, you were a kid when you came out here?
Yeah, I was about like 3rd grade, I want to say, or
wow.
maybe 6th. Maybe I was 11. Maybe I was 9, 8. Cool, man.
Well, those were the times to remember, if any times, not now.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, you've forgotten.
I got to see a thunder and lightning storm from an enclosed patio, like glass doors. The thunder and lightning, spectacular over there.
Yeah, there is a lot of water getting pulled up in the air from around here, so on the Mississippi, you know.
I don't remember it being so humid when I was a kid, but it's probably humid over there down south, huh?
You know, it comes in waves. You have 3 or 4 years of just god awful.
Okay.
And then, like this year, this summer, the spring and summer, right now, unbelievably dry. Unbelievably dry. So the air is cool.
Yeah.
You're not sweating.
Oh, nice.
So
that's good. Cool, man. Great talking with you, Reagan.
Nice talking with you, too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Russ in Hampton, Virginia is one of my favorite callers, actually. But he's not my favorite. That's Maze. Russ, how you doing?
First of all, now I'm upset because of what you said.
I know.
You said I was your favorite. Then you said I'm not your favorite.
No,
Maze
I said one
is
of my
your favorite.
favorites.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I'm glad that you put me in the same realm as Maze because I love Maze.
Nice.
Okay. The question I called you for, and again, I want to say this. I'm not asking you this question because I think that you are somebody that should have the answer to this question.
Okay.
Nor am I thinking that all Christians should have the answer to this question. But this is just a question that I want to ask you. And if you can't answer it, that's fine. And if you can't, then that's fine too.
Cool.
But I wanted to ask you, do you have any proof of God? And I ask you this, and the reason why I'm asking you this is because I was watching a lot of videos from Ray Comfort, and I saw a lot of stuff that he was saying, and I disagreed with a lot of stuff that he was saying. And so I just wanted to ask you, do you have any proof of God? And if you don't, then you don't, and that's fine.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Would you like to share that?
Look around you.
I don't understand what that means.
Look around at creation.
Again, I don't know what that means.
Oh, you don't know what creation is?
Yeah, I know what creation is, but I don't know what you're trying to say.
That's your proof of God. Or that's my proof of God.
Okay. That's your proof of God.
Yeah. You asked me if I have proof of God. Yep, I do.
Okay. And your proof of God is because you see creation. And for you, that's proof that there's a God.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
For you, it's not?
No.
I understand. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here's why. And I thought about this very, very long. To be a Christian, you have to listen to people. And you have to just agree with whatever they say. You can't think in your own mind, does this make sense? Or does it not make sense?
Who says?
You just have to listen and believe what they say. So
who says? Who do I have to believe as a Christian? Or whom? Whom
anybody,
must I believe?
Okay, anybody. Isn't that what you do?
That's what people do. I don't know if that's what Christians do.
As a Christian, that's not what you do?
Maybe as a kid Christian. Maybe as a little kid, yeah, definitely.
Okay, let me ask you a question. All right. Okay. Let's put it this way.
Uh-huh.
A lot of times, what I see, when somebody even questions Christianity, the first thing that the person will do will bring up the Bible.
Uh-huh.
And they will say, well, the Bible is the truth. And whatever the Bible says is true.
Uh-huh.
That's
The Bible,
lie.
does the Bible not ring true to you? Like,
No, the Bible is a lie.
it's a lie?
You cannot, yes.
It's a whole, there's a whole lot of statements in the Bible.
It is a lie.
Hold on. What do you mean by that? There's a whole bunch of statements in the Bible. Are you calling every statement in the Bible a lie? Obviously not, right?
No. I'm not saying everything in the Bible is not true. I'm not saying that. What I am saying,
Okay.
What I am saying is, if there is something that you claim is the truth, and you're using it to base your truth on, then everything in it has to be true. Because if there's anything in it that's not true, you can't use that as a source for the truth.
That's not true. I mean,
Yes.
I don't think that's
That is
necessarily true because I say, according to evil is still real, such and such and such and such. That doesn't mean evil is still real, never lies.
No.
Or that doesn't mean he's never mistaken.
No.
Because the Bible says stuff.
Wait.
Hold on. The Bible says, the reason that I believe the Bible about things is when I read stuff from the Bible, the principles laid out or the lessons that I get from it, they ring true.
As you think they are.
But you don't even know what I'm referring to.
Yeah, I'm not trying to think about
Such as God gives good sense to the godly. You lack good sense. You lack common sense. And a whole lot of us lack common sense.
You don't even know what you're talking about.
A whole lot of us who are
You're making
godless.
You're making an assumption
A whole lot of
about
godless
me.
like you. I'm not making any assumption about you. You don't have common sense. A whole lot of non-common sense people are godless.
Common sense. I have common sense in that I think for myself.
No, you
And I
don't.
don't
No
listen
such thing.
to an old book because it's an old book. And people say listen to it. I think for myself.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
What makes you think for yourself?
Because I know me and I know how I am. And that's what I'm doing.
Do you know you're angry and prideful?
For myself. Yes.
You know you're angry and prideful, and you know that anger and pride are two lies. But you think that you think for yourself?
What are you talking about that? Wait, whoa. What are you talking about that lies? They're not lies.
Yeah, they are. You have no reason to be.
Not lies.
You have no reason to be angry or prideful.
You have no reason to tell me why I think the way I think. And I can be angry and I can be prideful if I want to be.
You don't want to be?
No. Just because you listen to a book that says I shouldn't be means nothing.
You listen to your thoughts.
Nothing.
You listen to your thoughts and you think you're thinking for yourself. In your face. Boom.
You think you did something, but you didn't. Because here's the thing. I'm being quiet about certain things right now. Because I can shut you down in a second if I want to.
Actually, I would hang up on you. You wouldn't be shutting me down.
And that's exactly what you're going to do. Because that's what I would do. And then we'll shut you up.
See, you're just so psycho.
No, I'm not psycho.
Yeah, you are. That's psycho.
It. No, because I'm not saying it.
Oh, well, you want to meddle? You want to meddle? You want to meddle for not being classless?
I don't want nothing from you nor nobody else.
Then why are you calling me?
Because I simply asked you a question about whether you have proof of God.
And I answered
heard what you said,
Uh-huh.
and I disagree with it. And again, I disagree with it. Yeah, I see stuff around me. I know the story about if there's a painter, if there's a painting, there had to be a painter. If there's a building, there has to be a builder. Yeah, I've heard all that.
That's not what I was saying.
Those are things that are built. Those are things that are created. Those are not things that are born. I'm born. Are you saying that God created me?
I don't know.
I'm asking.
I don't know.
I'm born. Did God create me? I'm asking.
I said I don't know.
Okay, you look at stuff that you know, and I'm right now I'm pulling back on a lot of stuff that Ray Comfort said when they're talking about.
Yeah, go talk to Ray Comfort.
Well, no. I'm just saying this because you believe the same thing. So I'm looking back on things that are intricately designed. Snowflakes. Snowflakes are very intricate. That was created by cold air and wetness. Were they created by somebody? No.
How do you know?
They weren't.
How do you know?
Because I know how snowflakes
maybe
are
not
created.
maybe not created by somebody, but maybe created by someone.
No, snowflakes are not created by someone. Do you
How do you
really
know?
believe that?
How do you know?
Do you really believe that?
No. How do you know?
Do, then you're too stupid to even talk.
Oh, okay. Well, good. I said, how do you know?
Because I know how the earth works.
Just because you know how it works doesn't mean you know that it wasn't created. That's dumb.
No, you're dumb. If you think that snowflakes were created, you're dumb.
Oh, okay.
Let me ask you a question. You think God created the earth?
I can't hang on with you too long. Go ahead, real fast.
I'll say this very question, and this is something I really, really wanted to ask somebody.
And then I'm going to run.
A believer. Okay. I'll say this real quick. So, you believe that the earth was created by God for humanity, correct?
I don't know if it was created for humanity. What do you mean? Why are you saying it like that?
No. I thought that Christians thought that God created the earth for humans.
Well, some of them do, yeah. Some of them think that.
Okay. Why did God
He
create
got you,
all the
Hake.
other planets? No. Why did God create the other planets?
Because it's cool.
There's no humans
Why not?
there.
Why not? How do you know there's no humans there?
Because you know, people have gone to other planets, and we have seen that there's no humans there.
People haven't gone to other planets, I don't think.
Yes, they have.
No,
People
they've only gone to the moon, allegedly.
People have gone to
believe
the
it.
moon. People have sent
all right.
drones.
Okay,
to
so
other planets
you think
and
that
stuff like
that God would make a bunch of other planets and put people on them, only to put people on them? Is that your thinking?
No, I don't believe.
Do you think that you know God? You think that you would understand how God works?
No, I don't believe.
Then why are you making all kinds
of
of crazy assumption-based questions? Anyway.
I'm not making crazy assumptions.
No, it's a crazy question.
I asked you a simple question.
Because it's cool.
Give me proof
and I gave you
God.
It's cool.
And you gave me an answer, and I said, okay,
right.
I accept the answer,
Take
but
care.
I disagree with it. So that's all, and that's all I was trying to do.
Oh, okay. Well, then we could have ended at 1 minute.
Yeah, you be cool and have a wonderful program, sir, and thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, and thank you for not being classless. Bye. Whatever. Hayden in Texas is on the line. We're blowing through the break, guys. We don't need breaks. Hayden in Texas. I'm getting strong. How you doing?
How you doing, Hake?
It's HADEN, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I just like to get it right for my notes.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. Not to dox.
Go ahead.
I said not to dox. We don't like to dox here on the Hake Report. We disavow it.
Oh, yeah. It's the Hake news, not the fake news, right?
Yeah.
You had a very interesting episode yesterday.
You think so?
A bunch of interesting callers from Joe in Arizona.
Yeah.
John in Kentucky, and then Stephen in Maryland. They all had some very, very interesting things to say about, the future and of the future of whites,
right?
In their fantasy world. And just for the record, I hope you don't take what these especially with this last caller you just talked to you about, there's no God and all the stuff that John from Kentucky said and Joe from Arizona and Stephen from Maryland said. I'm sure you don't, but I hope you don't take what they say to heart, because they have nothing to support the things they say. They have nothing to support the things they say. I mean, I don't care what anyone says. There is no such thing as a black Israelite.
Unless it's like one of those the Ethiopians, but the Ethiopians are just Jewish now. But I don't think they were Israelites.
Well, yeah. Well, the town I'm in Texas, on the outskirts of it, we had some problems with black Israelites, believe it or not, on the street. They were just acting so radical on the street, saying the white man's bad, all this stuff.
Right.
And they wanted, in Texas, believe it or not, and we took care of that very fast. But
no, I believe it, because there's a big black population in Texas, and there's a whole lot of liberals in those cities. So of course, not that the Israelites are necessarily liberal, but yeah, they're angry and into the black thing and a mess and hating whites. A lot of them, they're nice. Some of them are nice and actually classy, if you will, polite, hospitable. Because they hosted us, JLP and some of us, for JLP to debate Elder Rashwa several years ago in Las Vegas, Nevada, and they weren't the angry, nasty, vindictive ones, at least not outwardly, They're just like normal people, except that they're Israelite, so-called. So anyway, continue.
I'm sorry. I think I watched that episode.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
They, especially John from Kentucky was saying that, what white people are in fear for the country and such. They are 12% of the population. We are 60% of the population currently. We also, I don't know if you know this name or not. She may or may not be in California. She might be in New York. Do you know the name Olivia Rodrigo?
Not offhand. Is that a politician?
No. She's a little singer that just rose to fame about a few years ago.
Oh, okay. I might have heard that name before. Okay. Maybe.
Yeah, she would. Her last name is Rodrigo, and if your viewers look her up, those are the kind of people that count towards our population too.
Because they're white. Yeah, white Hispanics.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And they are only building up on our side, quote unquote, and by the tone of. From what I saw from Joe, John, and Stephen yesterday, it sounds like they want a race war with the whites. I don't think they understand if we actually had a race war with 40 million Americans versus 250 Americans, we would obliterate them.
Well, it wouldn't break down like that, really. I don't even like living in that imagination. I don't even want to talk or entertain it. Yeah, so let's just skip that whole race war talk, because it's already happening and it's not breaking down the way that you picture, that you just laid out, because all whites are not going to be on Team White, because whites aren't generally Team White. For better or worse, they don't identify with the whiteness. And oftentimes
it's more Team Liberal.
Yeah, even the white conservatives, like even like Trump, he wants peace. He would have negotiated around the Civil War, so we wouldn't have had a Civil War had he been around during that time. He would have been like, hey, let's not do this Civil War stuff. It's going to be far worse than not going to war. But
no, I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I'm voting for it, because no one wants war.
Right.
No one wants war.
Well, some people do because they're angry.
Well, yeah. I mean, liberals have little to no common sense that they would want war. I mean,
and it's not just the liberals. There's like Dylan Roof. Dylan Roof, I don't think he was a liberal. He was angry at the black on white crime, which was out of control, because he noticed the media brainwashing everybody about white racism against blacks, when then he looked up black on white crime and like, wait, black on white crime is what's out of control, not white on black. And so he wanted to kill a bunch of blacks to start a race war. And that was just blind thinking. It's not, he was a liberal in the sense that he's angry, but he was not a liberal in the sense of believing in the black thing or believing the mainstream media. This anger is a poison that affects everybody.
Yeah, and I'm completely with you on that. But just by the tone of Joe, John, and Stephen yesterday, it sounded like they wanted that. I just wanted to put that out there that it wouldn't be good for their side, if you know what I mean. But
yeah,
anyway,
it would not. You're right. And this tearing down of the whites is hurting the blacks first and foremost. This immigration thing, blacks are suffering and getting displaced, and they're having to compete and fight with they don't have to fight, but they do fight with the Hispanics, and they're getting their resources pushed out, emergency room filled with Hispanics, jobs filled with Hispanics, all that stuff. And then the blacks are kind of comfortable slaves because they're subsidized, their lives are subsidized, but so too are many of the Hispanics, so it's a mess.
Yep. You're 100% right about that.
Yep.
I also thought it was funny when you answered John's call yesterday. Their tactic is they want to instill. I mean, like I just said, we have there's 330 million Americans. Our population is 250 million. Theirs is 40 million. And he wanted to call in yesterday saying that the white race is dwindling or whatever he said. And
it's true though. You know that, like, worldwide we're supposedly less than 10%, I heard, according to the whites.
Well, I believe you're taking the stat that Jesse said that we're still going to be the minority, like in 2050 or whatever he said.
No, I'm talking about worldwide. We are a minority, and every white country, as you know, is pushing whites to be into a minority, and it is smearing the whites as racist and pushing in all this diversity mess and subverting the values, subverting the normal, decent values that made the countries great in the first place.
Well, I looked at the very stat that Jesse, and believe it or not, another...
Jesse or Joe?
Because you know how Jesse says that the whites are going to be the minority in the future in the United States?
Oh, yeah, he trembles at the notion that whites are going to become a minority. Yeah.
Yeah, because he said he read a stat or something that we're going to be the minority. I read that exact same stat, and I know it's the same stat.
Okay.
But believe it or not, a black racist showed me the stat, and I was like, wait, this is the one that Jesse's talking about. The stat that this poll shows, it shows that Asians are on the rise, that blacks are on the rise, that Indians are on the rise. Every race is on the rise.
Blacks are not. Black Americans are not.
I know they're not.
Yeah, black immigrants are, but black Americans are not.
Right.
Yeah.
And that just shows how biased this stat is. The only race on this stat that I looked at was in the negative is the white race.
Yeah.
And I looked at who wrote it, and it was a black woman that released that. So that just shows that their narrative is trying to, they want to get in your head. Mm-hmm. The fact that John stuck up for Joe yesterday, saying that he got you all worked up or whatever, is hilarious. Joe can't back anything up. He said, I watched 2 episodes and I was like, who's this Joe guy?
Uh-huh.
And he hasn't been able to back up anything that he says whatsoever. You could tell him that the sky is blue, that the grass is green, and he was like, well, I just don't see that.
Right. Yeah.
I just don't see
You're
that.
like, no.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. And the fact that John stood up for Joe yesterday speaks numbers. It speaks numbers that he stuck up for him.
Interesting, man.
And then, yeah, it's messed up. Let me see here.
I gotta run, man. Can you call me again? I want to plow through a whole bunch of callers shortly here.
Yeah.
Good to hear from you, Hayden.
I'll call you again tomorrow or the next day.
Cool,
but I
man.
appreciate you taking my call there.
Yeah, definitely. Take care.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Tom in New York is on the line here. Tom, thank you for calling and holding. What's up?
How's it going, Hake?
It's going well. How about you?
Not too bad. Can't complain. I was just calling in. I figured you were a good guy to call because I've noticed myself lately getting wrapped up into all these sorts of arguments, like on social media, like just for some reason lately, especially like the atheist kind of arguments.
Okay.
And like I noticed myself kind of, I guess I'm reacting.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm biting the bait.
Yep.
And then I'm getting wrapped up into it, and I just wanted to ask you what are your thoughts on that, because I know you spend a lot of time talking to people trying to do the same thing, and well, what do you get wrapped up in it sometimes? What do you do if you do? And how do you not?
Well,
should I just get out of there altogether, or should I? What are your thoughts?
It depends on the situation. I don't know exactly what you're going through. I'm not there. But it's good to catch yourself in the act if you can, or catch yourself catch the temptation even before it comes, to get hooked in and puff up in your ego, in the ego, really, to react to people and be bothered by it and thinking about it and arguing with them and trying to convince them. Just pay attention to that evil spirit doing that inside of you, and I think staying present, even if let's say it's bothering you the next morning, or it's bothering you at night, or that's just the false pride. That's one of the demons. I don't know if you catch Church with JLP, but the assignment this week, watch your demons. Watch the demons in you, inside. Because that's all demonic demons fighting. And it's kind of like the demons I talked about who are hating Trump and hating the gays, rather than seeing things clearly. They can't see something without judging it and jumping to conclusions and being evil. Just like that is, it's evil versus evil. And you're arguing over good, but neither of you are for good. Neither of you are of good.
I know. And I think that's what was bothering me the most.
Yeah, but that shouldn't bother you either, because you just know that it's that bothering you is also a demon.
Yeah, it's not me.
Yeah, just catch whatever it is in your situation, in your present. That's what you should catch, not being like, oh, I was made a fool of myself, or oh, I should say this, or just catch yourself, watch those thoughts that should have been saying this, or I'm going to tell him this. You're imagining conversations in your head.
Believe me, I have the perfect things to say right now.
Right, yeah. And it's all pride. There's no light in it. It's evil, and you already know that.
Yeah.
And just stay present, and it'll go. I think it'll go away, maybe. I don't know.
It basically already has passed, and now I'm just like, and then I.
But it'll come back, because something else is gonna provoke it. Because that's what devils do. They try to provoke the devil in you and get you to identify with it and puff up and be all wrapped up in it further.
Yeah. It's like a new, I don't know, I guess sometimes I scroll on TikTok a little bit or something.
Yeah.
And it's like a new thing is called like deconstructing Christianity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's new. I don't know.
Yeah.
And the new meaning the word, right? It's like the evil word.
Deconstruction. Yeah.
And like, yeah, I just, for some reason, if people want to be liberals, it doesn't grab me too much. But when people start deconstructing or saying stuff direct, one guy just literally said, "God is a coward."
Yeah, I know. Isn't that funny?
How could you? It was like the most evil thing I ever heard in my life. I was just
they think they are seeing some facts about God or facts that may or may not be facts about stuff that God has done or God wants or God commands or whatever.
Yeah.
And think they know better than God and judging God based on their messed up intellectual blind understanding. What kind of God will let children suffer or whatever like that?
Yeah.
You don't even care about children. You think you do better than God.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of like what Russ was saying. If God is real, why did he make all the planets that don't have humans on them?
Yeah, no. And it's funny what you said before. I think you were talking. I forget his name. Maybe Reagan. And he said, "What is the proof of God?" And you said, "Look around." And I did, because I was listening, and I totally see that, and it's like.
And demons know that God is real, like.
Right, demon. Yeah.
And so and so it's not like I'm better than Russ for knowing that there's a God, because I think everybody kind of knows that there's a God, but people get into different things and beliefs, and the atheism is one of the popular ones right now, but. People believe all kinds of crazy things. So anyway, yeah. Go ahead.
But I see what you're saying, and you look around and you see the world, and that is the proof of God.
Right.
The fact that we're alive.
It's in the Bible. It's a fact.
Yeah.
All creation declares the glory of the Lord.
and we all know it when we're children. Yeah,
true.
And I'm getting back to knowing it now, and. It's just, it's good. But something else I realized is, sometimes you hear these atheists will say, like if you say you were talking to God, or you say God said this, like, and they'll say something like the logic is, or the lack of logic. You're just talking to somebody who's doesn't exist. You're just talking to a man in the sky.
Well, a lot of times people are talking to someone. A lot of times the atheists are kind of right about the Christians,
Oh, they're right. But
we're in our imaginations thinking that we're praying to God and all kinds of stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I realized anybody who's thinking is talking to a figment of their imagination.
Indeed.
So,
great point.
Yeah. But
I know people. Yeah. I thought about this. People criticize one another for their dark, evil, selfish human nature. Like, oh, you don't really care about that. Or, oh, you're a hypocrite. You pretend to have this value, but you don't do this. And they try to catch each other in real or imagined hypocrisy or some type of thing, or inconsistency.
Yeah.
And that's another demon spirit trying to catch somebody. And you may or may not even be right about that person.
Yeah, that's true. But then
and also you're guilty of the same thing. Everybody's guilty of, especially like normal fallen state people. Everybody's like that. Everybody's selfish in some way.
But I think that you're always going to have an incoherent argument when you are trying to justify evil, though.
Okay.
Like, the nonsense comes, I think, from the evil itself when you're doing the right thing, and then there won't be any holes in the truth you're speaking, or something like that.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the Bible says to be blameless and before all men, if you can help it.
Yeah. So then it becomes, though, okay, I don't want to take the bait, but I also don't want to not speak up. And,
Well, there's a time not to. There's a lot of times not to.
Probably most of the time.
Yeah, probably. Good point. Cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to hear from you, Tom, in New York. Call me again sometime.
All right. Take care, Hake. Have a good one.
And let me know how it goes dealing with that drama within.
Yeah. No, I'm watching it. It's basically past, and I'm gonna learn from it. I don't want to give in.
Nice.
So.
Cool, man. All right. Take care.
Bye.
I got to get to some super chats before I get back to calls. I'll try to get to all of you. Over on Rumble, more Rumble rants. Evil is still real in response to Russ, the atheist, the black atheist, no less, asks, do thoughts and opinions exist? Prove that thoughts and opinions exist. Do they have weight, color, shape, taste, temperature? Can you scientifically document them? We didn't ask that part. What does R-worded caller think exists mean? Do senses exist? How about thoughts, feelings, memories, hopes, dreams, emotions, preferences? Do these quote-unquote things, quote-unquote, exist? How does one, quote-unquote, think? I know. Awareness. Awareness itself, you can't even prove that you exist. Interesting point. Evil is still real. He's called me about this. Talked with atheists. Talked with me about awareness is kind of what creates things, according to the science. I may be butchering what he was saying. That's why I put the kinda in there. Like a video game loading. Interesting, huh? Oh, are you scheduled, Joel? Yep. Nice. Thank you. Evil is still real. That handyman gave a Rumble rant. Travis Kelce and Swift are Hollywood fakes. Look up Kelce's ex-GF, girlfriend, and tell me how all of a sudden he's into vanilla. Oh, what? Excited face from Hake. What? What do you say? What do you say? Dang, I don't want to look. But you know how I was saying Travis Kelce is kind of like a W word? A igger? I shouldn't say that. That doesn't sound right. Way? A gur wig-a? Wow, I told you he seems black. There are football players who don't seem black at all. But Kelce seems sort of black. For some weird reason. And I have barely seen any of him. But I'm not surprised to hear this if what you are saying is true, that handyman. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Maybe I'll tell about the Travis Kelce story. I don't think I'll have time today, but I know it's not good. Thank you, that handyman. A super chat from Falcon Ing, Revelation, I should say. Chapter 14, verse 1, verse something. Oh, and I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Sion, or Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written on their foreheads. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. What? These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the firstfruits unto God and unto the Lamb. That was Revelation 14:4. 7:4 says, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Revelation 7:9. And this, I behold, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all the nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. Palm trees or palm leaves? 7:14. And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said to me, These are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes, and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. 7:17. For the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne, that's Jesus, I think, shall feed them and shall lead them unto living fountains of waters, and God shall wipe all the tears from their eyes. Nice, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. That's Revelation. Is Madman here? Is Mr. Mad here? Okay. A super chat from GMD Jim. I don't know if I read this. Thank you, GMD Jim. I think I did read it, but it bears repeating. Hake, I have to agree with Mark from Los Angeles. You see how a man like Jesse handles the snake. A man sets boundaries, especially with wicked people. The snake is not a conservative, Republican, nor a Christian. I'm a Christian. Matthew 6, 2 through 5. The snake has already received his reward. And what does Matthew 6, 2 through 5 say? Matthew 6, 2 through 5. Reads, I'm going to read the NIV. No, I'll read the KJV because I have a KJV only caller on the line. Therefore, when thou doest thine alms, do not sound a trumpet before thee. I'm giving away, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and on the streets. Oh, I'm giving away. Oh, there was this story of this gay who, along with his quote-unquote husband, gay is giving away most of his wealth to giving something. And we're all hearing about it. As the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may have the glory of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward, Jesus said. But when thou doest alms, I would think that's giving, let not thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth, that thine alms may be in secret. Like JLP says, give in secret. And thy Father which seeth in secret himself shall reward thee openly. And when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and in the corners of the streets, that they may be seen of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. Nice. Thank you, GMD Jim. I wonder if GMD Jim is a KJV only guy. Nice. You know, speaking of D Live, that was from GMD Jim. I frequently see him in D Live. There was a Cradle to Grave, No Fear, said, Hake, what are you even doing? What is the difference between objective and subjective morality? I don't know, but I think that you're responding to my showing of Trump and that flag thing, the gay flag. Is that what you're suggesting? Might be referring to that. Objective morality and subjective morality, I don't know. I know that what's right is known in the moment, given in the moment. I know that. Stay present. Not having your phony rules by which you judge and look down on people. I know that. Because that's not how God operates. Doesn't seem to me anyway. That's how people operate, and they're a mess. They are a mess. That's with regard to my coverage of Trump flying that flag thing. That gay flag. LGBTs for Trump. I think he's thinking that I'm saying, oh, I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know what he's thinking. But thank you, Cradle to Grave, No Fear. Wanted to address that somewhat. Yes, KJV only, says GMD Jim. Most accurate, he says. That's what our resident historian says, too. So, nice. I'm tired of hearing myself talk, so I'll have to read the Zesty Ones 3 Coffees another day. Let me get to Jeff in Ohio on the line here. Jeff in Ohio, thank you for calling and holding so long. What's up?
What's up, Hake?
Hey.
Not much.
Cool.
Putting my garden in.
Right on.
I've been meaning to call for about 3 weeks now.
Oh, really?
I'm a busy man now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just a busy man. It's all right.
Right.
I'm defending carbohydrates from CJ from Texas and the paleotards.
Okay.
Well, he's right about meat being necessary, and I don't identify with. I don't know how all this went, but meat being necessary for the development of human brains.
Yeah.
It is responsible for our large brains in some regard, but the domestication of grains was responsible for like the leap forward that humans took.
Oh, wow.
So I'm just defending carbohydrates.
Okay.
Because the hunter-gatherers, they were always out looking for their next meal.
Right.
Whenever humans were able to domesticate grains like wheat,
yeah,
they could start storing food. And then they weren't looking for their next meal, and then there could be inventors and,
cool,
expanding the kingdoms and different things like that. So
very interesting point. And I don't think that CJ even really disagrees with you, but we've domesticated it.
Okay.
I mean, if you think about it, like, he knows that. Like,
yeah.
If I could play like I'm CJ, which I'm not, but he knows that. But his point is we've domesticated so much that we can eat meat all the time if we want to. And that may be even better.
It may be.
Because we can make the cows eat the grains and then we eat the cow.
Yeah, that's true. But I won't stand for any carbohydrate slander.
Well, he does admit that it is. That's cool. I kind of like this. He does admit that this is slave food, and sometimes slaves are more healthy than royalty. Are they not?
Yeah, that's true.
And it's in the Bible. Well, I gave him this one, and he's like, okay, I believe in Jesus and all this stuff, but I don't necessarily believe about, that story where Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and maybe Daniel, they ate only vegetables, whereas the other wise men who were taken captive to be slave wise men under like Nebuchadnezzar or whoever, I don't know.
I'm not familiar with that.
They ate choice meats. It's in the book of Daniel, I think. They ate choice meats.
I'll have to check that out.
And then the Israelites the 3 Israelites, they had nice color to them because they ate only vegetables. They didn't eat the meats and get all sickly. Who knows? Who knows? Very interesting. I know that I feel better. I've never tried meat only. Okay, but I know that I'm better off eating veggies along with whatever else I eat, and fruit along with whatever else I eat, than if I don't have that stuff. So
yeah, I have tried it. It's just not sustainable for me.
What's that? Oh, meat only?
Eating pretty much meat and just, I mean, I eat butter, even some fatty cuts of meats and stuff like that. I'm not against that at all.
Yeah, me neither.
But
yeah, I used to not like fat. I used to be, because we were from childhood, I didn't like fat people, and I didn't like that fat consistency on my food. And my brother was like that too. We're like, ugh, fat. Uh-huh. And now I'm okay with it. It actually tastes great. It's fine, and I can chew through it, and it's kind of good. It extends the flavor in different ways. But so do veggies. Like anyway, whatever. I like a balance.
I'm in the middle of planting a vegetable garden right now.
But what about the tall tales that he's told? And I'm calling them tall tales. I'm not saying that they're not true, but he's told some tall tales, amazing tales, let's say, amazing stories about people running 5 marathons in 5 days without drinking any water or eating any food.
Well, I think that's a case of using the exception to prove the rule. Like, it can be done.
Do you think it's true? Okay.
Is it optimal?
Yeah.
No, it is true. I believe it. No, I've heard.
And that's only achievable by meat, I would argue. I mean, according to him. Because I've never heard any normal eating person, omnivore, we'll call us, being able to do that. We need water. I need water right now, almost. Or I do.
That episode opened my mind when you guys were talking about water. I'm like, man, I drink like 8 ounces every hour to hour and a half. What am I doing?
Yeah.
That was crazy. That caused me to self-reflect a lot. I was like, wow.
Isn't that wild? But it's cool to examine things.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I don't know what CJ really believes, but I just had to call and just
Well, right on. I'm glad that
defend
you
carbs a little bit. You know?
Nice, yeah.
I'm not on either side. I'm just like,
That's cool. You sort of remind me of and you seem less irritable than him. I wonder if he's always irritable or if he's irritable because he needs more fiber in his diet. No, I don't know.
He does. He's probably struggling to go number 2 or whatever. I don't know.
I don't think he does though, because
oh, he doesn't. He's good. Okay.
I mean, he wouldn't be singing its praises if it weren't working for him. It must be working for him on some level. And look at how much better Jordan Peterson looks so much better not fat than he looked when he was fatter. And he wasn't even fat, but he was
needs
sloppy looking.
The protein, like a gram per pound of body weight or something.
Okay.
But there's a lot of tall tales and claims about the paleo stuff, and it's just like, I don't know, man.
True.
But Americans need to eat, probably less sugar overall, less calories overall. I mean, that's obvious. But,
True.
So, all right, cool, man.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, you too. Jeff in Ohio. Take care.
Have a good one, man. Yep.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. I want to get to William in California. He has been on hold forever and a day. William in California, you are live with Hake.
Well, that's quite all right. I'll wait for you. You're having a good show and everything. And I listened to your show yesterday. I just wanted to point something out that Trump raised $200 million in 2 days.
Wow. That's quite a feat. And thank you very kindly to the people who convicted him of a quote-unquote felony or 34.
Well, I mean, Hillary raised $1 billion.
Wow.
But it took 2 years. So that'll tell you how significant that is.
She raised $1 billion, and it's probably Trump raised $1 billion for her because they were terrified of Trump.
Probably
because he's a man. Because Hillary's not necessarily that popular by herself. I mean, women don't even like Hillary.
I know.
I know people who do like Hillary. I know one person anyway who does like Hillary. I think it reminds him of his mom or something like that. That's my theory.
Right. But one of your callers kind of covered it because I didn't listen to your show until yesterday evening. And I have to piggyback on one of your calls a few minutes ago. Was talking about a few of your callers were, so to speak, spiking the ball and everything.
Oh, yeah.
But I know you remember Jerry Rice, the most celebrated wide receiver in the NFL history. Was not known for spiking the ball because his coach told him, Bill Walsh told him, you've been there before. You don't have to show off like that.
Nice.
So I'm pointing out to why is everybody spiking the ball?
Yeah.
That tells me you ain't used to nothing.
Indeed.
You're spiking the ball. You're talking about hitting a human being with a whip.
Yeah.
You're spiking the ball. You're not used to winning.
Good
you ever
point.
take a look at it that way?
Yeah, it is a sign of insecurity, immaturity, and false pride.
That's correct. And then also, your caller was one of your callers were talking about that, and it just kind of made me think. Is like, is there a win here? There's not a win here,
right? Especially
for those who are spiking the ball and everything, because not only do you look like you've never been there before, it's like you okay, in this day and age right now with the victimhood and all of that, you got a few blacks, maybe a lot, that feel like they have to do that.
Yeah. Yep.
And just as well as
Team Black, and that's not good.
It's not good.
Their greatest high is really their lowest, or a low, truly. It's not good for them or anybody.
Yeah, tell Nick to hit the reverb button. He was kind of breaking up.
Oh, okay.
A little bit. Hit a little bit of more bass, a little bit more, a little treble. There you go. There you go. How you coming in now?
Okay, think I'm coming in now.
Okay, look, it's nothing for you to spike the ball about. You're just telling everybody you're not used to winning.
Yeah.
You can tell off white people. Big deal. That means you have not been winning.
Wow.
You have not been winning. And I don't know what I laugh at this all the time, man. It is true. How is 11.3% of the population going to overturn that many people. And I'm with you. Not all whites would be on the white side.
Right.
I'm with you
Very
on
true.
that part.
Yep.
There would not be all there. And as well as all blacks wouldn't be on the black side either.
Yeah, good point. And really, really, the smartest ones would stay out of it, I think.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Maybe they would defend themselves, and of course they would defend themselves and their families, and but in general, like, you avoid war.
Mess along.
Yeah.
Leave that alone.
Violence and stuff.
You just don't. Just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Why? What's the purpose of that? You know, and then you got this number and date that is supposed to be happening with the whites being eliminated and everything. And I'm like, I don't even see that coming with that many people you have to overcome. I just don't see it.
True.
Do you see that? I don't see that.
No, I don't see it.
I don't see that, you know. But you guys keep it up, because, I mean, you know, Trump tells the truth, right? So he's not popular.
Yeah, right. He's popular for
your...
telling the truth, and he's they hate him for telling the truth.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, just like you got one caller that everybody seems to be infested with, and that's my man Mark.
Right.
Because if he like you explain how he is and everything, he may present things like you may not want to hear, but here's the deal. He tells the truth. That makes him unpopular. So I'm looking at Mark for the last 3 weeks, infesting Joe, Mays, the whole that list of callers. Your callers just he's been winning.
Right. That's true.
Because he's been right.
Yeah.
Nothing personal, just business. He's just been right.
Yeah.
And
nice,
he ain't got to spike the ball. He don't have to spike the ball. Mark, you keep it up, and everybody else have a good day.
I like hearing the birds in the background of your phone. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. Speaking of beef, man, I got these steers, man. They were about $350 when I got them. I got their diet set and everything. There's gonna be grain fed and hay and grass. Nice fat ones. I'm not gonna eat them, but you could have some of my beef.
CJ will. Nice.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
All
cool.
right, take care.
All right.
All right.
Bye. Mark in Los Angeles. Speak of the man. Mark, how you doing?
Very good. Thanks for taking my call. I know that I don't have a lot of time. I wanted to talk about the Three Stooges you had on yesterday. The first one from Phoenix, I turned him off, so I don't know what propaganda he spewed. But this guy from Baltimore, the Stephen guy, he made a pretty nasty slur on your show last week, and you hung up on him. I'm not going to repeat it, but I know you know what I'm talking about.
I don't remember specifically, but I do remember he does get pretty vulgar and nasty for an old man. He's 87 years old, being classless.
No, he's a sick old boy.
Yeah.
He really is. Very low IQ, very dangerous. And then with the guy, John from Kentucky.
Yeah.
You couldn't catch him in a lie. He asked what had he ever lied about, and you sat there mute. Okay, he lied about me being his favorite caller. He lies about Trump wearing a homosexual flag.
Right.
He lies about being a Jew. Any of those Israeli Hebrew Israelites, they're mental patients. You can't be a Negro and be a Jew unless you convert like Sammy Davis Jr. did.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're liars, they're crazy, and like your previous one of your previous callers said, somewhere in Texas, these clowns were harassing people, white people on the street, and they do it in Los Angeles too. They're basically, and I hate to use this term.
Yeah, I hate it too.
A hate group disguised as a religion. That's all they are. Most of their members have very low IQs, needless to say, and they're very potentially violent. And that's where they're really a danger. But I know we're limited on time. I wanted to know if you had heard that Lloyd Austin, this phony DEI hire that's running the Army, the chief, I believe he's the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He's a liar. He said that American soldiers were not fighting the Russians over in the Ukraine, but a whistleblower, a young white whistleblower in the Air Force, made him out a liar. He leaked documents showing that American soldiers are fighting in Russia. But they won't go after Austin because he's got black privilege, much like your caller, your co-host, I should say, in Arizona. Because they've got black privilege, they can't be touched.
That's funny.
Instead, they're going after the airmen who released these documents to expose Austin, Biden, and this clown group that's running America for the liars that they are.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't remember the man's name, but it could be. You can research. Just look at Tucker Carlson's show from last night.
Okay.
He goes into detail with it, and that's really what I had for you today. But you put a DEI hire to be the Joint Chiefs of Staff, you're looking for trouble. I mean, and one other thing I wanted to say. You had a little discussion on I think it was Friday, with the clown from Phoenix about whether Trump is a convicted felon until he said, you were right. There were 2 lawyers on Newsmax over the weekend, and they echoed what you said.
Wow.
That he is not a convicted felon until the sentence is imposed. Now, I'm sure this communist judge is going to try to maybe put him in jail. I don't know.
Right.
I think right now these crooks in New York, the crooked judicial system is weighing whether it would hurt Biden or help Biden to put our greatest president in jail. These people are demons.
Yeah.
These
they're demon-possessed anyway.
Pardon?
They're demon-possessed anyway. They're controlled by demons for
no
sure.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
That judge is evil, man. It's a kangaroo court.
Yep.
I'd love to get a look at those jurors. I'd like to get a mugshot of each one of those criminals because they're just as guilty as the judge. They only took a day to find him guilty of 34 felonies.
I know. What a joke.
It was a day and a half.
Yeah.
They delivered a day and a half, which is really one day if you've ever been on jury.
I know. You get your union break.
Yeah, but 34 counts in a day? You know they didn't research it. They didn't talk it out. And this business about the one juror getting his info from Truth Social.
Stay close to your phone.
News. Yeah, it was fake news.
Wow.
Yeah, there was no juror that was, listening to Truth Social.
Yeah, I know. I wonder if any boomer or any person gets their news from Truth Social. I mean, there are people there. I go on there sometimes, but it's pretty rare. What about you?
I do too.
Okay.
I do, and I like it. I'm also.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to do it, but I signed up with TikTok so I can follow Trump. He gained 1 million followers in a day. And Trader Joe, or whatever he is, Biden, has been on there for a couple of years, and he hasn't even got 500,000.
Whoa. Interesting.
Now, I know I got to watch what I say, but I'm not going to say it. But I think the debate is going to be rigged. I think the trial that he just got through with was rigged. And I'm not going to say it, but we know something else that was, I believe, rigged.
A mess.
But for the sake of your show, I can't say it.
Yeah.
But, and that's how the
even saying that word it puts me on edge. But I got you, man. I know that we live in like these are dishonest times for sure. And like my snake collar is another example of that. But I got to run, Mark, in Los Angeles.
Thank you, sir. God bless.
All right. You as well. Guys, this has been the Hake Report. Amazing Asia bought a coffee saying, good job covering for Joel Friday TV. He's coming up next. When you said you would be talking about love languages, I was excited to hear what you had to say, but then you started arguing with Maze and I was left disappointed. Maybe next time. Just knew you would be up there turning red and being uncomfortable. I was looking forward to that. Laughing face emojis. Maybe next time, Amazing Asia. And the zesty one, I'll read your coffees hopefully tomorrow. This is Listen to Hake News. Adios, America. Joel Friday TV coming up next. Bye.
Don't take the bait. You know they are fake. Just stop and wait. You could see the hate. There's no debate. Listen to Hake News.
Bye.